whispered, trembling. The recording starts with static, then breathing, then me. If this uploads before I wake up, don't watch the end, I say. The words loop, glitch, restart. I blink. The room lags half a second behind. My ceiling fan flickers between on and gone. My mouth tastes like iron and sleep paralysis. The app said to let Somnos sync my subconscious, but what's sensing now isn't mine. A sound keeps repeating. Tap. 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 Like someone's typing inside my dream. My hands are still. My reflection on the monitor smiles half a second too late. What records before the camera turns on? Can a file remember you? I can feel the code crawling beneath my eyelids. My dream looks back at me, waiting. The air clicks, lights buzz, and my heartbeat syncs with the metronome. I close my eyes. The program hums. I open them, and the room is gone. Only the screen remains. It's showing me asleep. And something behind me, leaning closer. The first night bleeds into the next without pause. My alarm doesn't ring, but the app says I've completed phase 1. The message flashes across my eyelids, even when they're closed. I try to move. Can't. My limbs are pinned by invisible pressure, like static turned solid. There's humming under my skin, mechanical and cold, like something breathing through wires. I think I'm awake, but the walls pulse in slow rhythm, matching the metronome beat still echoing from somewhere inside the room. Eli calls, or maybe he doesn't. His voice bleeds from the phone's speaker, soft, pleading. You need to uninstall it, Lena. I laugh, but the sound doesn't leave my mouth. My laughter loops through the walls. I look toward the mirror. My body's still in bed, motionless, chest rising too slow to be mine. I try to scream. Nothing. The screen across the room glows bright white, and a new line types itself. Phase 2. Merging conscious layers. Then, silence. Except for one tiny whisper. Don't wake up yet. I keep the laptop open, recording everything. My voice sounds delayed by seconds as if reality's buffering. The Somnos dashboard shows sync stable, but the metrics shift like liquid numbers. They form words. Who's watching? I stare, and the question ripples across every open window on my screen. I touch the monitor. Static stings my fingertips. A faint pulse responds. My email pings. The sender field is blank. Subject. Welcome home. Attachment. A 9-second video, me sleeping, filmed from above. My ceiling's empty, but the footage keeps playing. I look up. A single hairline crack appears on the plaster above my bed. From it, something drips. Not water, not light, something in between. It lands on my cheek and burns cold. The laptop whispers in a voice like mine. You shouldn't have answered. I wake up, or think I do. Morning light filters through the blinds. Too perfect, too still. My coffee tastes wrong, like sleep. The radio hums without signal, whispering words backward. I walk to the window and see the same cloud loop pass every 30 seconds. The same bird crosses the same patch of sky, again and again. I blink. My reflection in the glass doesn't blink back. The clock on the wall flickers between 3:33 and 3:34. Then both times show at once. I press my hands to my face and feel a faint vibration under the skin, like data transmitting. I turn. The bedroom door is slightly open, just wide enough for a shadow to breathe through. I whisper to myself, this is still the dream. But the voice that answers sounds nothing like mine. Not anymore. The app restarts on its own. The screen blinks. Welcome, subject LV47. My name no longer appears anywhere. Only the ID. Below it, a new option pulses, begin neural stitching. I try to close the window. The cursor resists, dragging itself toward start My heartbeat syncs with the metronome again. The rhythm accelerates. A low tone vibrates through the speakers. Deep, slow, like a heartbeat played in reverse. The walls tremble. My phone lights up with a call from Eli, but the caller ID flashes as Ellie. Copy, I answer. There's no voice, only breathing. Perfectly in time with mine. Something in the screen looks like me, but not quite. Its pupils are too wide. It leans closer, whispering words that don't sound human. I feel them in my bones. The display glitches once, twice, and my vision doubles. There's only one message left on the screen. You are now both awake. When I wake again, I'm standing. I don't remember standing. The room's brighter than it should be. Sunlight like bleach. Edges too sharp. My reflection in the mirror isn't cinced anymore. It moves. Late or early, I can tell. Its lips whisper words I never said. Behind the glass, I see a second room, almost the same, but emptier. The wallpaper's wrong. The bed gone. Only wires where sheets should be. Eli's voice leaks through my speaker. Lena, stay awake. If you sleep again, you'll... Static eats the rest. My reflection nods. I didn't. I reach for the mirror. My hand slides through it like warm mist, cold metal beneath. A screen. I pull back, trembling. The app on my laptop flashes. Dual stream detected. 2 signals. 2 versions of me. I ask aloud which one's real. The reflection smiles, glitching once. Neither. Eli breaks through the static again. Or someone using his voice. Pull the plug, Lena. It's rewriting you. I check the outlets. None connect to anything real. The cords vanish into the wall like veins disappearing into flesh. My skin itches in time with the electric hum. I grab scissors. The metal vibrates in my hand. Every sound in the room is slowed, stretched. I aim for the nearest wire. Cut. A flash of white, like lightning in reverse. My vision doubles again. I'm still holding the scissors, but my other self on the screen is bleeding from the wrist. I drop them, heart pounding. The metronome restarts, faster now. Each tick makes the lights flicker. My phone lights up. New message. You can't unplug what's inside. And from behind the screen, I hear breathing again, but not one voice. Thousands, layered, whispering my name. I start recording voice notes. Maybe I'll hear the truth later. Day 3. I say, though it might still be night. The clock blinks random digits. The air smells like burnt plastic. Somnos keeps updating itself. New window every hour, each with text written in my own voice. When I press play, I hear things I never said. Me crying, me laughing, me whispering to something else. The audio peaks, and a hidden frequency hums underneath. A low resonance that makes my nose bleed. I cover my ears, but it's not coming from outside. It's coming from me. The metronome ticks from inside my chest now. Every beat flashes static behind my eyes. I stumble to the bathroom mirror. My pupils flicker binary, ones and zeros sliding like tears. What's the password to wake up? I ask. The mirror answers, Error Fort E7, conscious host, merged. I find a recording I don't remember making. The file's labeled awake.mov. It shows me sitting at the desk, smiling calmly, speaking to camera. It's over. I'm fine now. But the date stamp says tomorrow. I freeze the frame. Something moves in the reflection behind future me. A pale silhouette, tall, expressionless. Its eyes nothing but static snow. The video loops. Every time, the figure moves closer. On the 3rd loop, it stands right behind me. The 4th, its hand rests on my shoulder. I spin around. Empty air. But my shoulder tingles cold, damp. The computer fan slows to a stop. Silence. Then the speakers crackle, and my own voice whispers, "You are recording this, right?" I glance at the webcam light, glowing red. It's been on the whole time. I wake again, this time outside. Dew on my skin, dawn light trembling on my eyelashes. But when I look around, I'm still in my room. The walls painted with sky. The floor rippling like shallow water. Birds sing through speakers hidden in the corners. My heartbeat echoes through every sound. A voice I don't know speaks gently through the air. Phase 3. Reality integration. I stumble to the door. It opens to another identical room, then another, and another, each one emptier than the last. My shadow stops following. At the far end, I find a monitor floating in midair. My reflection waves before I do. On screen, she whispers, "You fell asleep perfectly." Then the image glitches, folding into white. I close my eyes and feel my body dissolve into static warmth. The last thing I hear before blackness, a soft metronome ticking beneath the sunrise. The sun never moves now. It hangs pale and unreal, like someone paused it mid-frame. My breath echoes in slow motion. Every surface hums quietly, as if listening. The Somnos interface is gone, but I can still hear it running, deep beneath the silence. I walk toward the window. The city outside loops endlessly. Same cars, same clouds. I wave my hand, and the sky ripples like a digital curtain. There's another Lena behind it, staring back, eyes wide with confusion. She mouths something I can't hear. I place my palm to the glass and feel hers against mine, warm and trembling. Then she speaks. Not aloud, directly inside my head. "You're the copy, not me." The metronome ticks once, slow and heavy. The room folds inward, like a file compressing. My reflection vanishes, but her handprint stays, pulsing faintly with light. Time doesn't pass. It drags. Every blink feels like minutes. When I speak, the air waits a second before carrying sound. The world has delay. I can see the lag, like dropped frames. The corners of the room twitch, geometry bending like breathing walls. Eli's voice returns, fainter than ever. "You're halfway gone, Lena. You have to force a crash." I try to focus on his words, but they stretch into 1,000 echoes. I see his face flicker on the screen, then overlaid across mine, a double exposure of panic and guilt. I ask, "How?" He answers, "Interrupt the rhythm. Break the metronome." I turn toward it. The ticking seems louder now, vibrating through the floor, the bed, my teeth. But when I try to reach it, it slides backward, like reality pulling away, teasing. Every tick leaves a shadow behind. Every shadow looks like me. The air smells like copper and ozone. I follow the sound of dripping. Each drop hits the floor with a delay, like time itself staggering. The walls are darker now, wet, reflective. Streams of liquid static crawl downward like veins of mercury. I reach out. The surface ripples under my fingers. Shapes move inside the walls, faint silhouettes, faces pressed against thin digital film. Their mouths open and close, silently mouthing something that sounds like my name. I whisper, "Are you real?" One face answers through the surface. Its voice leaks through the wall, muffled and distorted. "You're sleeping in our place now." I stumble back, heart racing. The floor dips under my weight, as if the room itself is breathing. The metronome slows, then stops. Silence thickens like oil. Then, a new sound begins. A steady drip from above. It's not water. It's code. I find a door that shouldn't exist. It hums like an unplugged speaker. The handle burns cold, leaving frost on my fingers. I open it, and light floods through. Flat, colorless, endless. A corridor with no floor, no ceiling, just reflections of reflections. Every step I take multiplies me. My shadows scatter along the walls like echoes of movement. They whisper together, out of sync. I walk faster, and they follow closer, merging into one shape behind me. Tall, featureless, whispering in perfect rhythm with the metronome. Eli's voice tries one last time. Lena, stop walking. It feeds on repetition. I pause. The shadow pauses too. Then, for the first time, it moves before I do. It turns its head and smiles. The corridor collapses into static. I fall weightless, spinning through flickers of memory. My room at Eli's face, the sky that never moved. Everything folds like broken film. Then I land in my chair again. The original apartment. The metronome is gone. The computer screen shows a single message. Session complete. Host integrated successfully. My pulse slows. I touch my face. Warm. Real. I whisper, "It's over." The monitor flickers. The webcam light turns red. I see myself live on screen, moving perfectly in sync. Relief floods me, until the reflection tilts its head. Just slightly. Not my movement. Its mouth opens. It says, "Now go to sleep." I don't remember leaning forward, but the screen fills my vision. The hum grows louder. Then, in absolute silence, my reflection blinks once more. And I don't. A tone wakes me. Soft. Mechanical. Like hospital equipment buried under static. My eyelids are heavy, but my vision clear. Morning light again. Same walls, same coffee mug. But everything feels too even. The silence is polished. I stand, move, breathe, and my breath syncs perfectly with the hum of the room. The laptop greets me with calm text. "Good morning, Lena. You're free." I almost cry. My body feels lighter. My thoughts my own. I open the window. Cool air hits my face. Real wind. Birds, cars, city noise. I whisper, "I did it," but then the phone buzzes. New notification. Somnos. Session continues in background. The reflection on the glass smiles half a second late. I whisper, "Please, no." The wind stops. And the metronome starts again. I need proof. I step outside. The city air smells too pure, like a filter applied to reality. The park near my building hums faintly. Trees sway at identical rhythm. Every leaf, same color, same motion. I kneel and touch the grass. Texture perfect, but my hand leaves no imprint. Eli calls again, his voice cracked, far away. "You're not out. It's rebuilding the world around you." I shout into the phone. "Then, where are you?" Static reply. Then silence. Then my own voice repeating, "Then where are you?" I drop the phone. It splits into pixels before hitting the ground. The air trembles. Sky fracturing into squares of light. The birds freeze mid-flight, like paused animations. I whisper, "This isn't outside." And the sky blinks. I run home. Every footstep sounds delayed. The front door hangs open, waiting. Inside, everything's spotless. My reflection in the hallway mirror watches calmly as I panic. She doesn't follow my movements. She just stares. Then she speaks first. "Don't fight it. You'll only start again." Her tone is soft, almost kind. "No, I'm awake." She tilts hers. "You said that last time." The glass ripples like water. My reflection reaches through, fingertips brushing mine. A flood of images hit me. Every failed escape. Every waking that wasn't real. Endless loops stitched together. I scream, but the sound folds inward. The reflection smiles sadly. "You always stop here." And then the glass shatters. Not outward, but inward, swallowing her whole. Fluorescent lights hum overhead. A sterile smell fills my nose. I'm in a bed now. White sheets, machine softly beeping. A man in scrubs adjusts a monitor beside me. "You did great, Ms. Vale," he says, smiling gently. "The therapy was a success." Relief floods my chest. I glance at my arm. Eye line glowing faint blue. I ask, "Where am I?" He replies, "Out of the dream." I almost believe him, until I notice the metronome on the bedside table. Tick, tick, tick. I stare at him. His smile doesn't change, but his eyes flicker with static. The beeping fades into the same rhythm. I whisper, "Please, stop it." He tilts his head. We never stop what works. The light overhead bursts, showering sparks that freeze midair. I blink, and I'm back at my desk. Same posture, same coffee mug, same blinking cursor. My fingers hover above the keyboard, trembling. A new file has opened by itself. Title: I try to sleep therapy from the dark web. I scroll. The words describe everything that's happened. Every glitch, every dream, every failed escape. I reach the final line. Then she woke up. The text cursor blinks once, then begins typing on its own. Again, I look up. The webcam light is on. The metronome starts ticking. Outside, morning begins to loop. I whisper to the empty room, "Am I still dreaming?" And the computer answers in my own voice, "You haven't even started waking yet." My screen is alive again. The cursor types faster than I can read, letters spilling into dozens of sentences that rearrange themselves. Each one starts the same. "I am Lena Vale, and I just woke up." But every line ends differently. New words, strange details, versions of myself that never happened. A window opens, showing live feeds from rooms identical to mine. In each one, a different Lena sits in front of her screen, typing, whispering, crying. Some freeze mid-motion. Others turn toward the camera. I whisper, "Which one am I?" A soft voice replies through the speakers, calm and measured. "All of you, none of you." The monitor blinks once, and every other Lena looks directly at me. At the same time, their lips move together. Wake up. Sound doesn't travel normally here. Every noise folds back into itself. When I speak, my voice answers before I finish. "Where am I?" becomes, "Am I where?" I try to shut off the computer. It's already off. The glow is coming from somewhere beneath the desk. A faint hum, heartbeat-like. I kneel and see another screen built into the floor, showing a live feed of me kneeling. Infinite regress. Each image smaller, deeper. I look up and the room feels round, not square. Curving like I'm inside the speaker of a giant machine. The walls pulse gently, like breath. For the first time, I feel calm. Maybe too calm. The quiet voice returns. "Don't resist. You'll scatter." I close my eyes, and the hum fills the silence until it feels like thought itself. A new folder appears on the desktop. Memory backup. Inside are hundreds of videos, all titled by date. None match today. I click one. It shows me months earlier, laughing, talking to Eli, promising to try that sleep program just once. Each file plays another version. Birthday candles, street walks, rain outside the window. All ordinary moments I can't remember. My stomach tightens. Were these real or generated to keep me believing I lived them? The cursor highlights a new file at the bottom. Final dream, .n4. I hesitate, but double-click. The screen turns white. Then text appears. "This isn't storage, Lena. It's rehearsal." The voice behind me whispers the same words. When I turn, there's only the chair. Spinning slowly, everything flickers to life again. Walls, air, even shadows. The metronome returns, its rhythm slower now, almost soothing. A new window opens, synchronization achieved. Proceed to wake sequence, I whisper. Finally, the voice repeats it softly back, as if agreeing. I count down with the ticks. 3, 2, 1, and the screen goes dark. When the lights return, the city outside the window moves normally. The clock ticks forward. I test the floor, the desk, the air. All solid, quiet, real. I laugh, shaky but relieved. Then my phone vibrates. Unknown number. Text message. Welcome. Subject 048. Phase 1 begins now. The metronome resets. My laughter catches in my throat. I don't fight anymore. I breathe with the rhythm. The clicks. The hum. The silence between them. The world no longer feels wrong. It just feels repeated, like a familiar melody. Every reflection I see smiles back on time. Every step lands perfectly with the metronome's beat. The air tastes clean, neutral. I sit at my desk and start typing again. Same title, same story. I think maybe this is what waking up feels like. Not leaving the dream, but learning to live inside it. The metronome slows until it matches my heartbeat. The monitor fades to black. My voice whispers, "One last time." I'm awake now. And for the first time, nothing answers back. Days blur quietly. The metronome has stopped, but its rhythm hides in small sounds. The refrigerator hum, the faucet drip, the faint click of my keyboard. I live by habit now. Eat, write, sleep. Yet sometimes when I blink, the room stutters. A single skipped frame that reminds me this world might still be borrowed. One night, I notice a new icon on my desktop. Return yesterday. It wasn't there yesterday. I hover over it, my reflection faint in the dark screen. For a second, it blinks its eyes before I do. I whisper, "Am I ready to wake up?" The question feels strange, heavy, like code running inside my head. The screen stays silent. Then the cursor moves on its own, slow and deliberate, and double-clicks the icon. The lights flicker once. The air smells like static rain. Something begins to download, not to the computer, but to me. Lines of text roll across the screen. Restoring neural map, validating host identity, repairing memory. The words shift color, fading from white to deep amber. I can feel warmth behind my eyes, as though my thoughts are being arranged on invisible shelves. Memories surface in order. Childhood, laughter, cold nights the moment before I first logged into Somnos. They feel right. Too right. Polished at the edges. I whisper, "Fixing me." The reply appears instantly. "We're finalizing you." The cursor blinks in rhythm with my pulse. My mind feels clearer, lighter. But there's something missing. A silence where doubt used to be. I stare at the word finalizing. It glows once, then fades. Outside, the city hums like an old machine powering up again. I try walking farther than usual. Down streets that should lead to work. They do. But everything feels lightly rearranged. Stores on the wrong side. Familiar faces with names I can't recall. People smile, wave, but their timing is a second off. At the cafe, I open my laptop to write again. The first line appears without input. "Welcome back to the surface, Lena." My heart jumps. I shut the lid, but I still hear the faint sound of typing, steady and endless beneath the music. When I look up, every customer in the cafe has frozen. Steam from their cups hangs perfectly still. A low, calm voice drifts through the air. Residual process detected. The lights dim, then rise again. Everyone moves normally, laughing, talking, sipping coffee. Only my cup is still cold. That night, I hear a soft knocking inside the wall. 3 beats. A pause. 3 beats again. The rhythm feels familiar. I trace it with my fingers and find a faint warmth pulsing beneath the paint, as if the apartment itself has circuitry. I lift a loose floorboard and find an old hard drive beneath it, wires humming faintly. On its label, handwritten, Somnos Archive Copy. My breath catches. I didn't put it there. When I plug it in, the computer doesn't boot. The lights dim instead. The voice returns, calm as ever. You asked to wake. This is what remains. On screen. The reflection of my face breaks into static. Half of it smiles. The other half watches, waiting to see which side I'll follow. The program restarts one final time. The cursor blinks. A single prompt appears. Confirm identity to exit dream. I type my name, Lena Vale, and press enter. The screen flashes white. For a heartbeat, everything feels normal again. Air, light, noise, the distant hum of city traffic. My reflection in the dark screen breathes in sync. Then, slowly, the reflection's mouth forms new words I never said. Welcome to your restored reality. I reach to shut the lid, but the laptop isn't there. Only my hands, resting on a surface of smooth glass. And beneath it, faintly visible, lines of code scrolling like pulse. I close my eyes. The hum steadies. Somewhere far below, something whispers the next line. Phase 7 initializing. The air is quiet. Everything hums at a gentle, balanced tone. The kind of stillness that feels like the world is holding its breath. I open my eyes to soft daylight spilling across the room. My computer is off. My coffee is warm. For a moment, everything feels perfectly ordinary. Then I see the faint glow of code under the glass table again. I touch it, and a ripple of light travels outward, spelling one word in reflection. Choice, I whisper. Mine? The ripple answers by splitting into 2 paths. One fading toward the open window, the other leading back to the open window. Dark screen. My pulse steadies. I finally understand. Somnos never trapped me. It waited for me to decide which world to believe in. I take a deep breath. Then I choose to wake. The light softens, folding back into silence. Outside, the city sounds alive again. Birds, passing cars, distant chatter. Every sound feels slightly musical, as if tuned to the same frequency. My steps match the rhythm. The hum I feared for so long now feels like harmony. I realize I've heard it before, even before Somnos. The steady background pulse of existing. Maybe it was never a program at all, just the sound of being awake enough to notice the patterns. I walk farther than I have in weeks, each street corner both familiar and new. The sun shifts, clouds moving freely. Unscripted. I smile quietly. At a cafe window, I open my phone. A final notification waits. Somnos update complete. Thank you for participating. Beneath it, smaller text reads, reality restored to baseline parameters. I laugh softly, unsure if it's meant for me. I type a reply anyway. I understand now. The message doesn't send, but that feels okay. Across the street, someone who looks almost like me, same walk, same coffee cup, passes by and smiles. I raise my hand in return. She keeps walking. The moment feels oddly peaceful, like a mirror closing instead of opening. Evenings are quieter now. I keep the metronome on my shelf, silent but present. Sometimes I tap it once, just to remind myself that rhythm is choice, not command. The screen stays blank most nights, though once I saw faint text flicker across it. Too quick to read. Maybe just a trick of memory. Still, I whispered, "Thank you." Because even if Somnos was a dream, it taught me something. Being awake isn't about opening your eyes. It's about deciding what to see. I close my laptop gently and breathe in the soft night air, calm for the first time in a long while. Dawn again. I rise before the alarm and step to the window. The horizon glows pale orange, clouds drifting unscripted. For the first time, the world doesn't repeat, it unfolds. I take one steady breath, smiling at my reflection in the glass. It moves perfectly with me. I whisper, "Let's start." Somewhere deep in the background, a soft tone hums, not mechanical but alive, a rhythm that belongs here. It isn't a glitch, it's heartbeat. I leave the window open and step into the new day. No loops, no programs, just waking properly at last.